Don't do it.
Stay back. Don't come any closer.
It hurts to watch, but we can't look away. Welcome to MsMojo, and today we'll be counting down our picks for the top 10 tragic movie couples.
Don't get mad.
I am mad. I'm mad because I think you're special. And is that not enough?
Before we begin, we publish new content every day, so be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at some of cinema's greatest couples whose stories end in sadness. Due to the nature of this list, discussing the outcomes of these movie couples, a spoiler alert is in effect.
You know, I was getting along with everything fine. I accepted it, and then you happen.
Number 10, Cindy and Dean, Blue Valentine. Unlike many of the entries coming up on this list, this couple doesn't contain any untimely deaths or forbidden love. Cindy and Dean seem like they are the perfect couple, but as the movie goes on, cracks begin to appear in the foundation of their relationship.
It doesn't ever disappoint you?
Why? Why would it disappoint me? I could
you have
still
all
do
this
whatever I
potential?
could do.
The quirks that they used to love about each other grow into flaws that they can't overcome or look past. True love just isn't enough to keep them together, and that's the real tragedy.
I'm so out of love with you. I've got nothing left for you. Nothing. 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 There is nothing here for you.
This couple represents a very realistic outlook on love and relationships and how they fade. Number 9, Oliver and Jenny, Love Story. These two are living proof that money doesn't buy happiness.
If you marry her now, I'll not give you the time of day.
In spite of Oliver's parents threatening to cut him off, he marries Jenny anyway. And though the two struggle with the lack of support, they live a happy and adventurous life, making plans to achieve Jenny's ambitious life dreams.
We'll have to begin therapy sometime during the next few weeks.
She's only 24.
But everything is put on hold when Jenny is diagnosed with a terminal illness. Oliver is forced to watch Jenny deteriorate, and despite their best efforts to continue to make the most of their time together, it's devastating to watch. Jenny eventually dies in Oliver's arms in the hospital.
I'm sorry.
Love. Love means never having to say you're sorry.
Number 8, Gus and Hazel, The Fault in Our Stars. Whether you read the book or not, considering that both Gus and Hazel suffer from cancer, we all went into this movie knowing that things would end tragically.
I'm not gonna be a mom anymore.
And yet, we'd be lying if we said that there wasn't a small part of us that held out hope for a happy ending.
Wow.
What?
You look gorgeous.
The two meet and initially bond because of their illnesses, but their love transcends their physical limitations as the two share the kinds of adventures together most of us will only dream of.
Guys, I have to call somebody.
No, please don't call 911, please. Don't call my parents or not. I will never forgive you if you call them.
Eventually, it's Gus who succumbs to his illness. But even from the beyond, he somehow lets Hazel know that everything will be okay.
Hazel knows the truth. She didn't want a million admirers, she just wanted one. And she got it.
Number 7, Tony and Maria, West Side Story. Well, when the characters are based on the couple that basically define tragedy, what do you expect? But more on that later.
Stay away from my sister. Sister? Wouldn't you see he's one of them?
In this relatively modern take on a Romeo and Juliet type story, Tony and Maria are on opposite ends of a gang war, but fall hopelessly in love nonetheless.
I didn't believe hard enough.
Loving is enough.
When the feuding gangs learn of their forbidden love, they go to drastic measures to end the relationship. People are killed, lives are ruined, and ultimately both gangs are left carrying the weight of what they did to their friends. Number 6, Robert and Francesca, The Bridges of Madison County. In another story of forbidden love, Francesca falls into a brief whirlwind affair with Robert, a traveling photographer, while her husband and children are away.
And don't kid yourself, Francesca. You're anything but a simple woman.
The two make plans to run away together, and Robert is arguably the guy Francesca should have ended up with. But she ultimately stays with her husband as to not adversely affect her teenage children.
And I'm not going to be made to feel like I've done something wrong.
No, you're not going to be made to feel anything, period, because you have carved out this little part for yourself in the world where you get to be a voyeur and a hermit and a lover whenever you feel like it.
Though it may have been the right decision to stay with her family, you can't help but feel a sense of longing and the endless possibilities of what could have been had she left with Robert. Number 5, Forrest and Jenny, Forrest Gump. Forrest and Jenny were best friends growing up, but they went down very different paths in adulthood. Forrest has a very exciting life full of adventures, while Jenny struggles through a very hard one.
Hello, Forrest.
Hello, Jenny.
Yet their paths continue to cross over and over again as the years go by. Some might even argue that they were destined to be together.
Why don't you love me, Jenny? I'm not a smart man, but I know what love is.
All of those kismet encounters can't just be coincidence, right? But their timing was never quite right. Eventually they do get married, but only after Jenny gets an illness that leads to her death.
Mama always said dying was a part of life. I sure wish it wasn't.
For better or worse, Forrest's mama was right. Life is like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're gonna get. Number 4, Jamie and Landon, A Walk to Remember. In all fairness, Jamie does warn Landon not to fall in love with her, and yet he does anyway, even after finding out that she has leukemia.
No, the real reason why you're scared is because you want to be with me too.
In classic Nicholas Sparks fashion, Jamie and Landon are from 2 different social groups, but bond when they are thrust together by fate.
Now would be the time to say something.
Told you not to fall in love with me.
Despite the obstacles in front of them, Jamie and Landon have a very happy life and even get married. But as expected, Jamie dies of her disease very young, and Landon must go on without her.
To honor and to cherish her all the days of my life.
If you thought that being aware that things would end tragically would soften the blow, you'd be wrong. Admit it, this one made you cry too. Number 3, Ennis and Jack, Brokeback Mountain. In yet another tale of forbidden love, Jack and Ennis meet while working as sheep herders, and their fast friendship quickly turns into something much more than that.
I might be back. The army don't get me.
Well, I guess I'll see you around, huh?
Throughout the course of this movie, both men get married and have children while continuing their romantic relationship made up of stolen moments on fishing trips.
You ever get the feeling, I don't know, when you're in town and someone looks at you, suspicious?
The tragedy here is that being gay men in middle America in the 60s could be enough to get you killed. And the weight of the affair isn't just brutal on Jack and Ennis, it bears down on their families as well.
I wish I knew how to quit you.
Then why don't you?
Eventually, Ennis ends their relationship in a huge fight, and it is the last time the two ever see each other. Jack dies, leaving Ennis with nothing but memories. Number 2, Jack and Rose, Titanic. We all knew that this relationship was doomed from the start. Forget that they are from 2 completely different worlds and social classes, or that she was engaged to another man, they never stood a chance against the iceberg.
Do you trust me?
I trust you.
Their relationship may only span a few days, but they share so much during that time, braving daring adventures and changing each other's lives forever on the ill-fated ship. Funny thing is, Jack shouldn't have even been there. He won his tickets in a card game the night before.
We're gonna make it, Rose! Trust me!
I trust you!
When the ship starts to go down, their only concern is for each other, and they take turns rescuing each other before Jack's inevitable fate.
I will never let go, Jack. I'll never let go.
Number 1, Romeo and Juliet, Romeo and Juliet. Who else could it be but the star-crossed lovers who basically defined tragic couples? Shakespeare's famous pair has been reincarnated in several movies over several generations and has inspired many other stories, like the previously listed West Side Story.
Romeo. Oh, Romeo. Wherefore art thou Romeo?
Arguably the most famous iteration of these lovers, after the original play of course, is the modernized 1996 version. Though they are often looked to as the epitome of true love, in reality, they are just 2 young kids who barely know each other, impulsively run away from their feuding families, and eventually kill themselves due to a misunderstanding in their scheme.
Dear Juliet, why art thou yet so fair? Shall I believe that unsubstantial death is amorous?
Leo just can't catch a break, can he? But this is tragic love at its most potent.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from MsMojo and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.